This afternoon, we're back in Pullman, Washington. Top 25 matchup on the Palouse between the Washington State Cougars and the USC Trojans. Welcome inside Bowler Gym, everybody. Trevor Williams with you, and so glad to have you with us for another afternoon of Pac-12 volleyball. And this should be a tremendous one with these two teams going 5 sets in their first meeting. Friday night's matchup also went to 5 sets against UCLA. Julia Norville was tremendous from the serving line all night for Washington State. They got out to a 6-0 lead in that 5th set thanks to Norville's 3rd ace of the match, but UCLA was able to come back in the 5th and claim an upset victory over the Cougars. You see some of the numbers, a season high in kills for Pia Timmer in that 5-set heart pounder on Friday night at Bowler Gym. Several seniors were honored before Friday night's matchup, including Peyton Claus, Pia Timmer, Julia Norville, Magda Yelhalasheva, and Lana Radakovich. And more to come this afternoon before this matchup as Carly Basham, Iman Asanovic, and Veronica Bulduya all get to take their bows at Bowler Gym on this senior season. It's a top 25 matchup coming up between two teams separated by just a spot in the Pac-12 standings. Should be a fun one here this afternoon for Bowler Gym with opening serve coming up next. Opening serve will be with the Cougars here this afternoon. Carly Basham will be back to take it for Washington State. 13th member all-time of the 1,000 Digs Club at WSU. And we mentioned season ago against Belmont tied that 3-match record for Washington State in aces with 7. So the 5th-year senior from Louisville, Kentucky will start it off this afternoon for the Cougars at the service line. Basham serves to open this match, and we're underway between the Trojans and the Cougars. Right away, Skylar Fields dug out by Basham. Athletic pass back to Asanovic off the block. It's going to go right up into the middle for Tyra Ariel. Gets the touch and the kill and the first point of the afternoon to USC's redshirt sophomore from Plano, Texas. The Trojans have won their last 12 sets, dropped 1 at Utah before winning the next 3, and they've swept 3 consecutive matches. Magda Yelhalasheva trying to go to the far side of the floor, but a little too wide. First 2 points this afternoon to the Trojans. Tyra Ariel had the first kill this afternoon on the serve, and a service error lands Washington State its first point this afternoon. So USC on a 4-match winning streak. Washington State trying to get back to its winning ways. The Cougs are 10-4 at home this season. Their 5th-year senior Julia Norville from Sacramento, California serving. To Aninga, it's an overpass. Pushed back by Yelhalasheva, over to Fields. Got up for the block. USC sticks with it to keep it alive. On a slide for Yelhalasheva. And that'll sail into the crowd to even it up at 2 apiece. Today, Magda Yelhalasheva becomes the all-time leader in matches played at Washington State. Julia Norville's climbing those marks as well on the serve. Up in the middle, kill smashed in by Lindsay Miller. The only women's volleyball player in history to play for both Notre Dame and USC. The pair of obvious rivals on the gridiron. 3-2 Trojans here in the early going. Ellie Snook, graduate senior from Westland, Oregon, serves to the Cougars. Iman Asanovic angled back down. Mia Tuaninga, the setter, in to help lead that block for USC. Asanovic against UCLA. The Cougars had 50 swings from her 14 kills, hit $120. UCLA was able to deny her a bit. Pia Timmer coming flying in out of the back. Skylar Fields with Basham there, but Washington State, a net violation. And 5-2 Trojans here in this opening set. Cougars struggled early Friday night in the first set against UCLA before recovering towards the later portions of the first. Again, Timmer out of the back, just long. Timmer thought it was in, but it's 6-2 Trojans. USC a 4-point run right now. Ellie Snook, who was a transfer from Portland State, 3 times the Big Sky Libero of the year, serves long here. That puts an end to the 4-point run for USC. And gets Washington State back to the service line with Iman Asanovic. Cougars trying to get the attack going. 1 kill on 7 swings so far with 3 errors. Asanovic a serve. Tuininga over to Fields. Fields around the blockers. And just off to the side of Pia Timmer. And Skylar Fields has her 2nd kill of the afternoon. Fields is up to 517 on the season, had 598 last year for USC. That was the 2nd best single season for a Trojan hitter. Fields serving. Yeah, Halasheva set up on a slide again. Comes to the near side pin. Timmer off the blockers. And Pia Timmer with her first of the day, coming off a season high 22 kills against UCLA. Career high is 31 for Timmer, the 5th-year senior from Germany. It's the 2nd kill of the day for Washington State. Yahalasheva on the serve. Overpass, dumped down by Rubright, covered out by the libero Trubens. Over far side pin, Weejay had it dug out. Cougars push it back to the Trojans. Up in the middle, Miller, another opportunity, still alive. Great rally going here between these two teams. Cougars doing it on the defensive side, blocking back another opportunity for Weejay. Weejay will try once again, and this time she delivers for USC. Weejay, the freshman out of Porter Ranch, California, has 3 times been a Pac-12 Freshman of the Week this year. Leading point scorer per set for USC is Skylar Fields. You see there, London Weejay is 2nd, and the serve long from the Trojans to get a side out back to WSU. See first appearance for Katie Ryan. Ryan, a junior from Rafter, Idaho. Reigning student athlete of the month at Washington State, Argentina with the serve. Lofting it in low on the net. Fields out of the back row. No touch it, it's long. And Washington State back within 2. First miscue for Skylar Fields this afternoon. Argentina still serving, the senior out of Sonora, Mexico. Another one low received by Tyra Ariel, dumped over to the Cougars. Asanovic covered. Ryan, the southpaw, comes flying in from the pin, smashing a kill in for Washington State. 3 straight Cougar points to get within 1 in this first set. Preseason All Pac-12 selection, 30 double-figure kill matches in her Washington State career. Was 1 shy of double figures on Friday night against UCLA. Up in the middle, Ariel. Light touch to Basham. Back over to Ryan, and Ryan has back-to-back punches delivered for the Cougars. WSU on a 4-point scoring run to even things at 8 here in the first set. After the slow start hitting for the Cougars, starting to heat up. Tuininga over a middle blocker out to Weejay for the kill. Both teams 4-point runs in set number 1. Mia Tuininga, junior setter out of Long Beach, California. Can really rack up the assists. 62 is the career high. Heavy-handed overhand serve. Out of the back, Asanovic.
able to drill the far back corner of the floor for Washington State. First kill for Amanasanovic. Cougars spreading out a variety of attackers here early on. Pia Timmer and Amanasanovic, 3 attempts each, 4 for Magda Halasheva, 2 for Katie Ryan, both converted. And Pia Timmer into the net on the serve. So USC back in front by 1. The series has been tightly contested of late. USC 9-6 in the last 15. In 6 of those Cougar wins, though, 5 have gone to the 5th set. Katie Ryan on fire in set number 1. Has 3 opportunities, 3 kills, all square at 10. Strong time spent in the front row for Ryan. Basham serving once again for the Cougars. Back set for Kalia Williams, former Washington State hitter. Off the Cougar block, tooling it for the point. In fact, back in 2021, Kalia Williams here on this floor against USC wearing crimson and gray, led all players with 12 kills in a Washington State sweep. This is her first time playing back on the Palouse against her former team. Halasheva skying in the middle. USC able to keep it alive off the tip. Back to Williams, got a touch and a couple consecutive kills for the Washington State transfer. It's been a little while since Kalia Williams has been able to get to double figures in kills, all the way back on October 6th against Arizona State. They had a rough time the first time around against Washington State. Tyra Ario still on the serve. Over to Katie Ryan, who's been perfect so far this afternoon. Fields over the block. Timmer can't dig it out. A little 3-point scoring run for the Trojans now to get ahead 13-10 here in the first. Great hitting percentage to start for USC, 467, actually now up to 500. Ung right in the middle. Halasheva denied by Lindsey Miller. Miller at 6'4", the middle blocker for USC. Senior out of San Diego. As we said, started her career at Notre Dame, ended up with the Trojans here at the end of it. Back over to Amanasanovic, finds room out back. Another smash to put an end to a USC 4-point run. And the Cougars are trying to get back and run on their side. Asanovic, a couple kills now. 4 swings in air. USC, 64% side out percentage right now, trying to earn one here, up by 3. Back over to Kalia Williams, 3rd kill of the afternoon. Williams, the first time around against Washington State, we mentioned struggled, negative hitting percentage and just 1 block for the middle blocker, getting some instructions there on the bench from Brad Keller, with USC back to a 4-point lead. USC was dominant out of the gates on Friday night over in Seattle against the Huskies as well, hitting .421 in that opening set. They're at .529 here in the first against the Cougars, but Asanovic able to float a light shot in to get it back to Washington State. So now Amanasanovic and Katie Ryan each have 3 kills to lead the way for WSU. Skylar Fields, Kalia Williams with 3 each for USC here, midpoint of set number 1. Received by Ellie Snook. Out of the back, Weejay once again. And now London Weejay draws even with Kalia Williams and Skylar Fields. All 3 have 3 kills. And nothing so far for the Washington State block. One of the best blocking teams in America, 2.64 per set. Argentina dumping it. A little off-tempo play. Get it right back for WSU. So good at dumping the set. Came in this afternoon 22 assists away from 1,000. Serve goes long for Washington State. Be 1,000 on the season, 8 already for Argentina Ung. Lead back to 4 for USC off the service error. Good start here for the Trojans on the road, trying to run a winning streak to 5 consecutive matches. Trubin on the serve, Rubright on the slide. Pushed back once, Timmer trying to angle down the line and just misfired. It's up to a 5-point lead for USC. Jen Greeny will take a timeout, and so will we here at Bowler Gym. 5-point lead for the USC Trojans here in set number 1. They are on fire out of the gates, hitting .556 on Pac-12 Plus. So far for USC, they've been in front or tied the entirety of this first set. 25th ranked Trojans. A great start this afternoon in Pullman. A long serve. And the service error giving it back to Washington State. The Cougars need a run here approaching later portion of set number 1. Things that stand out here in set number 1. The Cougars only hitting .182. 5 attacking errors for Washington State, some self-inflicted here in the opening set. Weejay off the blockers, Basham racing to it. The Cougars won't be able to return it on 3 touches. And USC, another side out. At that last timeout, 71%. The Trojans are now 11 for 15 in set number 1. Excellent side out percentage. Mia Tuaninga on the serve. Ung right in the middle for Rubright. Taken in by Trubin. Weejay once again cross the floor, out of the reach of Basham. And London Weejay with kill number 5 here in set number 1. Older brother is also a college athlete, quarterback at Houston down in Texas for the Cougars. Weejay out of California. Over from Pia Timmer. Showed a light touch, ended up playing it deeper. Fields up into the lights with it. And once again, back for Timmer. Races back over the Cougars, can't spring to it. It's a 7-point lead for USC here in the first. And the hitting percentage continues to rocket up for the Trojans. 600. USC looking to be in control here in set number 1. Radakovich in for Washington State. Gets a second opportunity. Floats it over the block. In the middle, stuffed down the center seam by Tyra Ariel. Ariel started the offensive attack for USC this afternoon and trying to help close this first set as it's now the Trojans by 8. USC has scored the last 4 points. We take a timeout here on the Palouse. Trojans trying to run away with set number 1. 8-point lead for the USC Trojans in set number 1. In Pullman, these teams went 5 down in Los Angeles earlier this year. Tuaninga, that tough overhead serve continuing. Still no reception error for either side. It's a question to whether or not USC came over the net on the set for Ung. And in the middle, Skylar Fields finishes back middle for Washington State. And the Cougar bench understandably frustrated. And the officials are going to talk about it here. Sergio Gonzalez and Ryan McDowell. And it looked like when Ung went up to set that USC had come over and interfered with that setting opportunity for Ung. That's what the officials are talking about here. And it will be a point to Washington State with USC over the net there. Brad Keller would like an explanation now. So that swings it to 22-15 here in set number 1. Gets a serve back to Washington State after another 4-point run for USC. They've put together multiple multi-point runs here in this first set. Pia Timmer gonna try to get Washington State going here from the service line. Tuaninga, long run to chase it down. Williams tipped back by Ryan. Second try, tap back. Comes over to Asanovic. Angled up high, Fields doing so well to cover that back corner. Weejay, it looked like an illegal set. USC finishes the play, and Kalia Williams up to 4 kills. Mentioned it's been a while since she's been in double figures. USC couple points from taking set number 1. Isanovich off the head of Williams. This will be a free ball. No, excuse me, over to Fields for an opportunity to end, and she does cross floor in front of the Washington State bench. Set point USC here in the first. In a set that has been owned by the Trojans. Gonna be close to a 600 hitting percentage when it's all said and done in set 1 for USC. They have just been dominant on the offensive side. Katie Ryan, first try push back. Isanovich into the net. And Washington State will fall in the first. USC, this dominant first set, 25-15 to take a lead in Pullman against the Cougars. The Trojans have 3 top 20 wins this year, including once against Washington State, and off to a good start here this afternoon. We'll be back with more from Pullman on Pac-12+. Excellent first set for the USC Trojans this afternoon on the Palouse. And they got a big-time jolt from London Weejay, who could be in high school right now still. Weejay reclassified for USC to be able to be a freshman here this fall. 8 attacks, 3 digs. What doesn't show there is the 5 kills for Weejay, leading all attackers in set number 1, and USC was dominant. They hit 600 in the first set. Timmer flying it out of the back row and opens the second set with an exclamation for Washington State. That is kill number 2 for Pia Timmer. So the Cougars try to turn the page into set number 2. USC, the 600 to 323 hitting percent advantage in the first, and outblocked the Cougars 4-0. Fields with Timmer trying to get to it. But Skylar Fields adds another to her total this afternoon, now 5 for the All-American. A former Big 12 Freshman of the Year, transferred to USC from Texas. You see Iman Isanovich, the Washington State transfer from Arizona State. Isanovich was 3 of 8 in the first set with a couple errors. Norville on the receive. Timmer had the first, blocked back here by Miller. Lindsey Miller has been busy early on in the block down the middle for USC. Miller already in on 3 blocks. A 5-0 blocking advantage for the Trojans here this afternoon. Served away by Ariel. Isanovich had it touched up front to Aninga. Athletic play to get to it. Fields tried to float one over. Isanovich blocked back. Isanovich once again just pushes it right over the attack line in between a couple would-be blockers, pardon me. And Isanovich knots it at 2. Now 4 kills for Isanovich to draw even with Katie Ryan. Iman Isanovich, 3-time All-Pac-12 selection. Currently behind Pia Timmer by 28 kills on the season for the Washington State team lead. Weejay, another kill for USC, and a double called against Washington State, trying to get that ball up off the floor. London Weejay now with 6 kills, the high on the freshman season for her, 24. Skylar Fields there, who everybody's watching this afternoon. Fields, the clash of the Pac-12 on the offensive side. Yehalasheva on the slide, doesn't get a touch call. She thought she might have been able to tool a USC blocker. It continues at 4-2 Trojans here in the second. USC off to another efficient start in set 2. Isanovich able to just roll it over the front line blockers. And Amana Sanovich taking the lead in kills for Washington State. USC never trailed in the first set. The Cougars had the first point of set number 2. USC back in front with a slim margin to open the second set. Fields, Basham coming in to cover it. Timmer tries to drop one in. And Tuaninga, the setter, athletic play after it was popped off the floor. Just able to flick it off the Washington State block for the point. It's the second kill for Tuaninga, who has 15 assists already tonight as well. Skylar Fields back to the service line. Neither team with an ace at this point. Serve receive has been clean. Weejay in between Radakovic and Ung. And Weejay continues to rack up the kills. Number 7 for the freshman, who is on pace to have a tremendous afternoon. Weejay on Friday night had 10 on 27 swings against UW. It's already closing in on that number today. Little touch over the net, over the shoulder, back corner, it's wide. Tuaninga trying to play it there. Right idea to the open spot in the floor, but didn't find a spot inside the boundary. Argentina On a slide, Miller denied thanks to Asanovic in the defensive play. Timmer tipped up front on the block. Tuaninga for Fields, out of the back. Wow, big dig by Basham. Here comes Asanovic the other way. Terminates the point for Washington State. Kill number 6 now for Amana Asanovic. And Asanovic has 3 kills early on Washington State's first 5 points in set number 2. Huge dig in that sequence by Carly Basham as well. Nearly an overpass, dumped over the shoulder by Tuaninga. Back to Katie Ryan, started hot, finds a spot down the line. Ryan was successful on her first 3 swings. Had only had 1 of the last 4 converted before getting back into a groove with that kill. 6-all, the Cougars have rattled off 3 consecutive points here in the second. Still serving for the Cougs. Coming in to receive it was Trubens. Weejay continues kind of rolling that shot down the line in front of Katie Ryan. And Weejay up to 8 kills now here early on in set number 2. Weejay, a former number 2 recruit by PrepDig.com. We mentioned reclassifying into this freshman class. Definitely has a beat on a potential freshman of the year as Lana Radakovic comes back to knot it at 7 for the Cougars. Good to see Radakovic check in with kill number 1. Mentioned came on strong second half of the match against UCLA back on Friday night. All 7s and number 7 serving for Washington State, a service error. That is the 3rd for the Cougars, 4 for USC. As we mentioned, both teams still looking for their first ace. Timmer was trying to get that back line. Mia Tuaninga. Serves to Carly Basham. Katie Ryan. Tip back, Timmer, nice play to stick with it. Asanovic having to adjust on the set and just long on the swing. Asanovic was pretty sure there might have been a touch. Jen Greeny looks down to Ryan McDowell in front of the table and nods her head in approval. 9-7 Trojans. Asanovic hitting 200 right now. The Cougars have set her the most at this juncture, 15 attacks. Tuaninga with Timmer on the receive. From in front of the net. Tight set for Radakovic. It comes back intended for Kalia Williams. Dumped back by Asanovic. Weejay. Little touch over the block. Basham for Ryan, who's denied. Tyra Ariel. Good start to her afternoon as well. Ariel in on a block for a third time. It's a 10-7 lead for USC. Little three-point spurt for the Trojans. They took set one, and they're continuing to hit well here in set number 2. 10-7 Trojans. We come back to Pullman right after this. The USC Trojans are on a major hot streak right now. The Trojans have won their last 13 sets, and they are 9-1 this season when claiming the first set. That's what they did this afternoon in Pullman, and they lead 10-7 here in the second on a 3-0 scoring run. Tuaninga has been a tough server for the Trojans. For Ryan, right up in the middle. Kept up by Weejay. What a play for USC. An opportunity for Asanovic now. Covered up by USC. Over for Weejay once again. And Weejay, a net violation against Washington State, helps boost it. Katie Ryan was into the net. 4-point run for USC. They'll wipe up some sweat on USC's side of the floor after Mia Tuaninga came flying across on that play to help USC keep the point alive. USC hitting .475 for the match, but a outstanding 600 in set number 1. It's come down to earth a little bit in the second set. Tuaninga on the serve. Another tough one overhand. Overpass, dumped down by Ariel for the points. Make it a 5-point run for the Trojans now. USC had multiple runs in the first set that were sparked when this junior center, Mia Tuaninga, was on the service line. This time takes a little bit off of it, forced Timmer to dive. Asanovic blocked back by Williams. It'll be Timmer out of the back row. And no touch, it's long. Now a 6-point run for USC in danger zone for Washington State here in the second set. WSU's side out percentage is in the mid-40s, USC 74, and then when they've gotten the side out, they've been able to post runs multiple times. That 6-point run comes to an end with that service error, but a tremendous run at the line for Mia Tuaninga. Tuaninga already the 17 assists with 3 digs. 18th assist could come to Kalia Williams, and it does. Kalia Williams' 4th kill of the day. Back to a 6-point USC lead, and again, there's that side out for the Trojans. Boom, over to Asanovic. Basham had to play it. It would have landed back corner. Asanovic once again gets side out for WSU. That was pivotal for the Cougars to start getting some side outs back. That's how they're going to get back into the second set. 14-9 now after the Asanovic kill. That's number 7 for Asanovic. Norville on the serve. In the middle, another one for Ariel. Ariel has 4 now. These teams trading points now over the last 3 opportunities. Tyra Ariel, 5 double-figure kill matches and 8 total blocks against UW in LA were season highs. And too long on the try for Asanovic. Wanted the cross-floor shot, 7-point lead for USC. Trojans ran away in the first. Washington State bringing in Veronica Waldulia. Cougars trying to change things up on the hitting side of things. Only hitting 0.68 for the match, 0.38 in the set. Skylar Fields blocked down by Magda Yelhalasheva. Yelhalasheva collecting the first block for the Cougars, and fitting for the fifth-year senior who has 744 career blocks. The Washington State all-time leader is now 22 blocks from the all-time Pac-12 lead and 17 away from being the leader in the NCAA rally scoring era. Logan Golden checked in to serve for the Cougars. Weege out of the back. Basham couldn't handle it. There was a deflection up front. London Weege continues. Is into double figures now with 10 kills. USC checks in Ellie Snook to serve. 4 times was all conference in the Big Sky before making the jump to the Pac-12. Norville on the receive. Far side pin, Timmer. And USC saying it's definitely long, no touch, but the official said in the back corner. No question from Brad Keller. So Pia Timmer gets it back for the Cougars. Washington State needs a run in the worst way here in set number 2. Basham serving. For Weege once again. Basham sprawled to it. Golden gets there. Turns it over the net, made it tougher than just your average free ball. Fields avoids the blockers. And Fields with 6 kills now. So 18-11 USC. Skylar Fields, 521 kills on the season, over 2,000 on Fields' career. 2-time All-American. Almost had 24 kills in 3 straight matches last time out. The service ace turns it back over to Washington State. Norville and Golden will come out for Isanovich and Katie Ryan. Cougars have hitters on the floor here for Argentina Still no service aces for either team to this point. Weege on the receive, gets it right on back from Tuaninga. Timmer has the dig out. Katie Ryan got a touch on the block. Nice cover by Trubin. And Weege off the Washington State blockers for kill number 11. When everyone's thinking about Skylar Fields, London Weege's been able to take advantage of it this afternoon. Second leading point scorer for USC. Libero Gala Trubin. Dad played on the Serbian national team serving away with USC up by 7. Isanovich from the back. Brush to the USC block. This will be a free ball to Washington State. Cougars need to take advantage. Back for Timmer. Had to adjust in air. Radakovic on the overpass. There to push it to the floor. Still for the Cougars. Obviously can't go point to point at this point in the second set. Radakovic with kill number 2. In the middle, kind of scooped over the net by Tyra Ariel. Ariel 5 kills now. 3rd on USC in kills in this match. Trojans hitting close to 500 for the set, 500 for the match. Back to Mia Tuaninga, who is on for a 6-point run earlier in this second set for the Trojans. Is that heavy-handed overhand serve. Radakovic, little touch up front. Tuaninga back for Weege. It tickled some blockers up front, and Weege has kill number 12. London Weege with 5 in the first set, now 7 here in set number 2. And USC leads by 8 here late in the second set. Dominating set performance by USC. Jen Greeny will take a timeout. And Washington State looking for answers here in this second set. The Trojans on the verge of their 14th consecutive set won as they're trying to run it to 5 consecutive matches. They're off to an excellent start this afternoon on Pac-12 Plus. It's an 8-point lead for USC, closing in on a second set victory in a match in which they have dominated Washington State this afternoon. Tuaninga on the serve. Ung for Timmer out of the back. Trying to put a little bit behind it. Fields plays the back so well. Katie Ryan, though, able to spill it out in front of her. 6th kill now for Katie Ryan. What an advantage it is to have the 6'2" outside hitter in Fields who plays so confidently in the back for USC. And the length really covers that back line well. Katie Ryan, as we mentioned, up to 6 kills for the Cougars. Lana Radakovic serving. Radakovic nearly had the first ace. Weejay tipped up front. It goes for Ryan. Ryan's been the hot hand for the Cougars. Tuaninga with a touched aerial, the opportunity. Radakovic had to set for Asanovic, and it's down for the Cougar point. Now 8 kills for Aman Asanovic. Cougars are within 6, knowing they have to have a run right now. Still Radakovic on the service line. Graduate senior from San Francisco, transfer from UC Davis here to Washington State. Fields skying it out of the back. Yahalasheva kept it up. Ryan able to punch it back over the net. Second opportunity for Ariel, and doesn't miss this time down the center seam. USC 3 points away from set number 2. And London Weejay, who has been carrying the water for USC on the attacking side, 12 of 19, hitting .632, serves away for the Trojans. It was nearly an ace. That would have been out for the Cougars on the return, but USC played it. Comes over for Fields, and Ung unable to handle it. Fields with kill number 7. You could hear a pin drop in Bowler Gym right now. This crowd a little flummoxed as to what's happened to Washington State, with USC dominating the first set 25-15. They still have a chance to win by the same margin in set number 2. Asanovic tipped up front. There it goes for Williams. Push to the back corner, and it's open. Set point for USC. 5th kill for Kalia Williams. The Trojans continuing to attack at will. 492 before that point. They're going to be a 500 hitting percentage for the match. Asanovic tipped up front. Tuaninga trying to pass Williams. Over to Asanovic, in between the blockers. Asanovic 9th kill, closing in on double figures. Julia Norville to serve. The Cougars will have to have a run for the books here in set number 2 if they can work their way back in. London Weejay in the match leading 12 kills for USC, helping lead the Trojans in for set number 2 on the service air. 25-15 in the first, 25-16 in the second, and USC has claimed 14 consecutive sets in Pac-12 play. The Trojans playing some of the best volleyball in the conference, and they lead the Cougars after 2 sets here in Pullman on Pac-12 Plus. It has been all USC this afternoon in Pullman, but the first 2 times these 2 teams met, it was all Washington State in LA before USC flipped the script. It'll now be Washington State who will have to rattle off 3 consecutive set wins to upend the Trojans. That is a tall order right now, though. USC has won 14 consecutive sets now. That spans 3 3-set sweeps for the Trojans, 3 consecutive sets they won against Utah, And now the first two here against Washington State this afternoon. So his leaders, Amanasanovic, Magdia Halasheva, going to try to get Washington State going, but they've got to find a way to slow down USC's attack. Way up on the hit percentage at .500. As it stands right now, it'd be their best hitting match of the season previously, September 24th against Oregon State. When the Trojans hit .478, Lana Radakovic open set three for the Cougars and uses the tape. It's the first ace for either team this afternoon. For Radakovic, ace number 15 on the season. Just what the Cougars needed to turn the tides there to start the third set. Radakovic, second serve. Tuning over to Fields. London Weejay has led USC in attacking. Asanovic had it dug out. And how about Yahalasheva right down the pipe? 2-0 Cougars to open up the third. See how creative the Cougars can get on this set. Yahalasheva, second kill. Hitting negative this afternoon. 3 errors. 8 swings for Magda. A little bit of a shank on the serve receiver. Radakovic had an opportunity for a second ace. Going back for Ryan. Tried to drop it over the block. Fields just got a fingertip on it. Asanovic, that's tipped off the block. 3 straight points to open the third for Wazoo. And Amanasanovic leads the Cougars with 10 kills. Cougs getting Radakovic to start at the service line. Change things up a little bit here for set 3. Fields marching into this one and dumps it down in front of Radakovic. Mentioned that it hasn't had to be the Skylar Fields show so far this afternoon. That's the 8th kill for the multiple-time All-American. 3 times this year has been the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week. Lana Radakovic just served Washington State out to a good start in set number 3. And Amanasanovic tools Kalia Williams for the point. Asanovic, a perfect start to the third set. You can feel a little intensity coming from the Cougars side of the net. Obviously frustrated with the way the first 2 sets went. Julia Norville serving. Norville gets an overpass. Yahalasheva knocks it back down, and it's a double. Pressed twice off the center, Mia Tuaninga. Magda Yahalasheva popping up on the overpass. And the Cougars, who basically hadn't led in the first 2 sets, now to a 5-1 lead in the third. Fields. Yahalasheva got a hand to it. 6-1 Cougars. And just when you think Yahalasheva's headed back down to the floor, uses that reach in the 6'3" frame to get up and stay with it. The all-time blocking leader at Washington State, 21 blocks away from the Pac-12 all-time mark. Fields once again through the blockers. And now Skylar Fields, a couple kills in set 3. Still a much better start for the Cougars, a pair of 3-0 scoring runs to open the third set. Trying to bring up the side-out percentage. USC's hovered around 70. Washington State's been at 50. Let's see if the Cougars can get one here and immediately get served back. Pia Timmer had it tipped up front. Miller touched. Trying to get it over. Free ball to the Cougars, and it's a double. Skylar Fields was trying to get down almost to a knee and just couldn't cleanly get that with 2 hands. Side out Cougars and served back to Amanasanovic. Asanovic, who's passed the 300 kill mark for the season. Over to Fields, out in front of Timmer. Fields has all 3 kills for USC in set 3. Pia Timmer with just 4 digs so far today. Been a rough afternoon for Pia. 3 kills, 4 errors, 15 attacks. We'll see if the Cougars can get her going after season-high 22 kills against UCLA on Friday. For the first time, Megan Verbeest this afternoon. Serves to Carly Basham. Boom. Set up Yahalasheva and blocked back. Weejay and Miller up for the Trojans. USC's had so many good scoring runs this afternoon. Verbeest at the service line is a 4th-generation Trojan. Former high school All-American out of Manhattan Beach, California. For Timmer. That touch blockers, and Pia Timmer, maybe that'll get her going with kill number 4. Asanovic has 11 for the Cougars, 6 for Ryan, 4 for Timmer. On USC's side, it's now Weejay with 12, Fields with 10, and Ariel with 6. 8-4 Cougars in set number 3. Basham almost aced it. Free ball to the Cougs. Left-hand turn. Off-tempo play. Argentina makes it a 5-point Cougar lead in the 3rd. Second kill for Argentina. The outstanding starting center for the Mexican national team. In this match has now hit 1,000 assists for the season with 22 today. Fields screaming in out of the back row. And man, get out of the way when Skylar Fields is coming down the seam. That's number 11 for Fields. Fields has 4 of the 5 SC points in the 3rd. She's starting to take over a little bit on the Trojan attack. Dumps it down again. Argentina with a couple in this 3rd set. And now the side outs are appearing for Washington State. They were nearly non-existent in the first 2 sets. This looks much better for the Cougars with back to serve again. Second full season as the starting setter for Washington State for Argentina. Ariel on the receive. Weejay off Radakovic and Ryan. First kill of the 3rd for London Weejay, who had 5 in the first, 7 in the second, and now 13 for the match. Tuaninga. A blazing serve handled by Timmer. Asanovic, one-on-one blocked by Tyra Ariel. Ariel's now been in on 4 blocks for the Trojans. The redshirt sophomore from Plano, Texas, who earlier this year had 8 blocks against Washington in LA. That was the season high for Ariel. Trojans within 3. Tuaninga still serving tough. For Radakovic, and Radakovic blazes it down to the attack line. 3 kills for Radakovic. Her, Yahalasheva, each with 3, 4 for Timmer, 6 for Ryan, 11 for Asanovic. That's the Cougar attack. Pia Timmer. The Cougs up by 4. Timmer, one of the best servers in Washington State history, with Fields out of the back row. Radakovic got in the way. A joust pushed back by Ryan. Fields offers it over to the Cougars. Ryan played it first. Here's Basham to Asanovic. Great rally here. Ryan tried to get in the way. The swing's long, and the point to the Cougars. It was close. Radakovic almost came over the net in one spot. But the Cougars outlast the point, and USC will take a timeout, and Bullard Gym really comes to life for the first time this afternoon. It's a 12-7 lead for Washington State to open up the 3rd set. We're back to Pullman after this timeout. Sense of urgency to open the 3rd set for Washington State. USC went flying out to a 2-0 advantage this afternoon. Pia Timmer still serving for the Cougars this into the net. Good news for the Cougars, the side out has been right there here in set number 3. WSU 5 of 7 in opportunities so far. You see London Weejay and Manasanovic leading the attackers. There's Lana Radakovic coming back with that side out for the Cougars. Exactly what they continue to need. And Radakovic will go back to serve. She opened the set at the service line. Radakovic starting each of the last 2 sets. Yeah, Halasheva back on the floor with Katie Ryan. Imana Sanovic and Pia Timmer is a good rotation on the floor for the Cougs, but service error. Change that up. Carly Basham back in. Defensive swap for Radakovic. Serve for Tyra Ariel. VJ now up to 13 kills. Katie Ryan, the southpaw, just wide, trying to go down the line. USC drawing a bit closer. It was 6-1 Washington State at one point here in the third. Tyra Ariel, 16 aces this season and 17. Miscommunication for the Cougars out back between Isanovic and Timmer. And USC's within 2 now here in the third. Timmer and the Cougars out hitting the Trojans 353 to 273 here in the set. Isanovic has the receive this time. Right on back to Isanovic and a laser off the USC back line. USC a 3-0 scoring run to bring things a bit tighter before the Cougars put an end to that with Isanovic's 12th kill of the day. So Julia Norville has a couple digs and an assist. Now serving. Went to Weejay. Fields off some blockers. Basham sprawled to it. Isanovic! Nifty play around the block. USC can't believe it wasn't a double. Isanovic turned it in front of the blocker and then down to the floor. Mia Tuaninga, the captain, on the floor having a discussion with Ryan McDowell at the table after the Cougars claim a 4-point lead here in the third, 15-11. Julia Norville will serve once again. Tuaninga, right-handed set. Came over. Isanovic, tip back. Gets to it. It's for Timmer out of the back row. Weejay on the dig. Fields blocked back. Isanovic gets it to Set up for Timmer once again, and Timmer missed the back corner. It was close. The rally goes to USC. So the Trojans, a little more pep in the step after the slow start to the third set. Cougars brought the intensity, still trying to get Pia Timmer going. 4 kills, 5 errors, 18 swings. For Timmer. Timmer, light touch, big dive by Trubin to get there. Fields as it tips the blockers. With Fields coming over the net and interfering with that set. That was about as clear as they come. 16-12 Cougars. Fields a little excited there, trying to get up and get a block for the Trojans, who lead in blocks in this match, 8-2 out blocking the Cougars. But too hasty there. Isanovic on the serve. Turned over for Miller. Nice play with the hands for Norville. Isanovic tries to go back. Weejay was there. Fields once again tipped off of Yahalasheva. And Skylar Fields has taken control in set 3 for the Trojan attack on that near side pin on your screen, far side as we see it from the table. 5 of the 12 kills for Fields have occurred here in the third set so far. The serve at Norville. Up for Yahalasheva. And saved by the Trojans to Weejay until Yahalasheva collects her third block of the afternoon. With her parents in attendance, gives the Cougars a 4-point lead on this senior celebratory weekend for Washington State. She's magnificent in front of net. Carly Basham. Serve to Ellie Snook. Pia Timmer with a left hand, just able to keep it there. Ung turns into a hitter. That was her first job at Washington State. And good muscle memory for Argentina Ung. Giving the Cougars a 5-point lead. USC will use its second timeout of the third set. And at least for the moment, the Cougars have turned the tables on the Trojans. Winners of 14 consecutive sets. Washington State trying to climb back into the match. We'll be back to Pullman here on Pac-12 Plus. Washington State doing its darndest here in the third set to make this a match. Cougars lead by 5. They have led wire to wire here in the third. Carly Basham serving. USC out of timeouts in this third set. Basham made Snook dive for it. Weejay over the blockers. Cougars nearly collide on the dig out. And Weejay gets her second kill of the third set. WSU had found a way to slow her down after 7 kills in the second. Gala Trubent. Double-digit digs in 40 career matches, 20-plus digs 12 times. Serving there for USC. Had the dig out as well. Timmer returns the favor for the Cougars on Weejay's opportunity. And Asanovic, little tape shot. Asanovic up to 14 kills. It's a big smile for the senior transfer from Sarajevo. Argentina Ung serving. WSU trying to close in on set number 3. Goes over to Weejay. Cougar block was up, punched by Radakovic. Fields with Timmer getting a hand in, pushing it back. Here's Fields again. And Basham tried to get to it. Instead, it's kill number 13 for Skylar Fields. Leah Williams back into the rotation for USC. Mia Tuaninga back to the service line. This is a great server to have for the Trojans right now. Had 10 aces against Colorado last year. First Pac-12 player with 10 or more aces since 2004. Cougars have done a good job on the receive, though. And Katie Ryan blasts a side out for Wazoo. You break these sets up into these little 5-point runs, and Washington State has that padding going into the final 5 points of the Cougars need after kill number 7 for Katie Ryan. She's second behind Iman Asanovic's 14. That comes over, and Ryan slaps it down to the floor. 21-15 Cougars. Number 8 for Katie Ryan, same that she wears on that jersey. Pia Timmer remains at the line. Timmer a little too long. Timmer, who is 10 aces away from the Washington State record, trying to catch former teammate Penny Tusa. Right now the focus for the Cougars is on winning this third set. Back to Ryan, down along the line in front of Trubent. And Katie Ryan, since the last USC timeout, has emerged as a steady target for Argentina Ung and the Washington State attack. Cougs trying to put an end to 14 consecutive set wins for USC. A tremendous number for the Trojans and one of the best volleyball conferences in America. Asanovic, back corner, C&I kill for Iman Asanovic. Number 15. And Asanovic was honored before the match this afternoon for the senior day. And is playing up to it now. 15 kills on 37 attacks, hitting 270. Radakovic, who started the set at the service line, had an ace to open the set. Gets one there off of Gala Trubent and sets up set point for the Cougars. Washington State in control in set 3 and a chance to put it away for Lana Radakovic. Radakovic, a pair of aces already in the set. Up in the middle, Yahalasheva denies Ariel, and Washington State takes the third set, 25-16, to infuse a little life back into Bowler Gym in Pullman. Well, Jen Greeny's squad has to return the favor and do what USC did in Los Angeles in mid-October. First of those 3 steps is done for the Cougars as they get back to the third. We return for the 4th set next here for Bowler Gym. We move on to set number 4 in Pullman. 25th ranked USC punching hard at top 10 Washington State. The Cougars trying to salvage a win on the weekend. USC trying to sweep in the Evergreen State for the first time since 2011. This has not been a place of late where USC has had much success up in the Northwest. Washington State taking back the third set. Big part of this attack for the Cougars has been Katie Ryan. 9 kills, 5 off her season best of 14. You look at the comparison on these two teams as well. WSU just a much cleaner third set overall, able to limit the Trojan runs. The hit percentage still way up there though for USC, 400. Trojans were on pace to hit 500 in the match. It would have been their best hitting percentage of the season. Previously 478 against Oregon State. Still, this would be just the second time this year that USC has been able to hit 400 or better if they can keep it up in the 4th set. London Weejay serves away set number 4. Imana Sanovic trying to come near side. Back over to Skylar Fields, tipped by Katie Ryan. Yahalasheva tried to knock a light shot to the net, and it was just a little bit behind her. USC has the first point of set number 4. WSU also managed to slow down the server here, London Weejay, partially because Magdi Yahalasheva got those blocks going in the third set. Imana Sanovic off the block. USC has a chance for the first couple points, but Yahalasheva denies the Trojans again. 5th block for Magdi Yahalasheva. Julia Norville will go to serve. Yahalasheva is getting closer and closer to the Pac-12 all-time mark, turning away Skylar Fields there, the all Pac-12 attacker. Up in the middle area. Basham has to set it for Timmer out of the back. Ariel blocked it back for USC. Asanovic over the blockers. Sprawling play by Weejay. Fields, can she punctuate it? Yes. Cross floor kill for Skylar Fields. Fields is even with Weejay now with 14 kills. Trojans trying to get back to side out on their side. I mean, that one right there is big, but they struggled with it in the third set. It's the telling stat, obviously, is how can you limit these runs? Skylar Fields with Pia Timmer keeping it up. Was there as well. Yahalasheva can't get it over the net. And Fields continues to heat up over these last 2 sets for USC. Fields is now the Trojan leader with 15 kills. Ties with Imana Sanovic in the center of your screen there for the match lead. Right on over to Asanovic. Back in front on her own. 16th kill for Asanovic. Asanovic 4 away from the season high in kills for her. 28's the career best at Arizona State. Asanovic going at Kalia Williams. Fields dump back down. Yahalasheva and up there for it. And all square at 3 now in the 4th. Took a little bit for the Cougar block to get going. WSU has the last 4 blocks. Now an 8-6 blocking margin for USC. Right off Kalia Williams with the serve. It's over to WSU. Ung and the Cougars to Yahalasheva. One hand, all that's needed from Mia Tuaninga. Skylar Fields off Yahalasheva, back to USC's side. Tuaninga, Fields one more time. Third time's the charm for Skylar Fields. And USC back in front. Great back and forth here in the fourth set. Trojans did it to the Cougs in October. On USC's home floor, WSU went up 2-0 before USC came back to win it in 5. And the Trojans have played a ton of 5-set matches this year. Asanovic having to adjust out of the back, make sure she didn't cross that line. Fields just continues to rip away for USC. Fields now has 17 kills. And is just seeing it really well with Ellie Snook still at the line, serving. Basham on the receive. Long run to get to it. Timmer to the back corner. On a slide. Miller. And the Cougars were into the net anyways. Trojans have the Cougs doubled up 6-3 in the fourth. It continues for Ellie Snook. The Portland State record holder in digs per set had 50 aces back in 2021. Only 18 here now playing in the Pac-12. For Timmer, who's on the receive. And no touch, but Washington State will likely challenge. Timmer nodding her head to Jen Greeny saying, let's challenge that touch. And so Washington State will take a look at it. If it's not, it's a 4-0 run for the Trojans to get out to a 7-3 lead here in the fourth. But we will take a look at what we've got here. See Pia Timmer coming in, Mia Tuaninga, they're in the area. Watch those stripes on the ball. It does look like the ball is coming in straight, and then you start to see the turn of the rotation of the stripes once it meets the hand at Tuaninga. You'd also believe from that angle that's what causes the ball to kind of take a turn back inside. Here from the angle out behind Washington State. Very successful in challenges on Friday night against UCLA. And it's all a question about that right hand for USC setter Mia Tuaninga. But Pia Timmer was sure because of the direction that that ball ended up going. You can see she's trying to go down the line to that back corner. And it ended up being deflected wide of the floor. So the officials really focusing on those two angles. Now they come to the net. And in these frame-by-frame looks, just trying to see if there's any redirection of the ball. And the officials do have the touch. Changes it from 7-3 to 6-4. And a perfect weekend of challenges continues on the Washington State side of things. They were successful in every challenge against UCLA on Friday night. Carly Basham to serve. Cougars within 2. It's a specialty of the former Pac-10 standout Jen Greeny for this Washington State team. Player and now a coach, has been a part of 13 postseason appearances for the Cougars. Radakovic bouncing it off the block. Skylar Fields continues to be scalding hot here in the fourth set. Fields now up to 17. After 2 sets, had just 7. It's really been in set 4 here for Skylar Fields. Megan Verby, second time today she's been in to serve. Asanovic bumping it off of the net. Ball stays up. Tuaninga coming back over near side. Weejay turned away by Argentina Ung. Ung blocks really well out of the center position. That's number 73 for Argentina. Should make it 78, pardon me. tallying up what she's been involved in today. Part of 5 for the Cougars. And Argentina serving, dropping one in over the net. It took Weejay out of the play. Ung racing to get to it. Free ball to USC. Good opportunity for the Trojans. Out of the back, Fields, Basham, what a dig. USC will try it again. Tuaninga to Weejay. Tipped by Ryan. Pia Timmer. With Fields playing it out of the back. Here she comes down the center seam, over a triple block. Ung, back for Ryan. Pushing middle, overpass. Radakovic pushed back. Gets there. Timmer to the back corner, and she beats Fields to the spot. That brings Bowler Gym to its feet. Cougars winning the long rally. What play from both sides to keep that alive. See, they're having to wipe the condensation off of this beautiful Terraflex surface at Bowler Gym after the tremendous effort from Skylar Fields. Cougars within 1. There's Argentina Ung still serving. Weejay has been slowed down, not there. Strong swing to the back corner. So USC by 2. Weejay first 3 sets was the USC leader in kills, now has 16. Hitting .464 still. Katie Ryan, that was a tough left-handed punch. She kind of had to adjust moving towards the boundary with that set. So it kind of took her off her spot for what she was looking for to go across the floor. 9-6 Trojans. Gala Trubin, Pia Timmer, Carly Basham, they collide. Basham saves it. Cougars avoid a reception error there, but dumped into the open space by Mia Tuaninga. Great job to have a sense for what happened there on the serve, that it took both Timmer and Basham back out of the play, and Tuaninga could just feel that that spot was going to be there, middle of the floor behind the attacking line. USC's largest lead of the set at 4, 3-0 run for the Trojans. And Timmer calls it long. The service error to turn it back to the Cougs. 7 service errors for either side. The Cougars have 2 aces from Lana Radakovic. Tyra Ariel has the lone ace for USC. Here's Pia Timmer. 10 aces away, as we mentioned, from WSU's all-time mark. Weejay steadying for it, but Radakovic sends her packing. Lana Radakovic playing big today, 4 of 10. Now in on a block, a couple aces, 3 digs. Pia Timmer going on the libero Trubin, up in the middle. Ariel had it dug by Basham. Isanovic trying to push it back corner. Weejay once again. Basham has it. Sets up, tight set. Radakovic Fields as it's up into the rafters. The Trojans stick with it. Nice play by Snook. And off the Cougar blockers goes Weejay for the kill. Harder than it looks with that ball up near the HVAC system at Bowler Gym. But Ellie Snook, the 3-time Big Sky Libero of the Year, sticking with it to set up the point for USC. Mia Tuaninga. Basham really getting there on the receive. Isanovic now over the block. Missed hands. He's looking for those high hands, and Jen Greeny will take a timeout here in the 4th as Washington State trails by 4. USC surging back in command in this match, trying to win in 4 sets for the 5th time this season. They're up 12-8 trying to claim a road match here and a fourth top 20 win on Pac-12 Plus. So London Weejay and Skylar Fields each have double-doubles going for USC. The Trojans lead by 4 points in set number 4. Trevor Williams and our Pac-12 Plus crew with you. Jen Greeny just took the timeout for Washington State. USC owns serve, Mia Tuaninga. Here it is. Timmer on the receive. It comes up for Ryan. Little A-gap set for Washington State. For Katie Ryan. That is kill number 10 for Katie Ryan. Ryan into double figures. Preseason All Pac-12. Lana Radakovic has a couple aces for the Cougars today. Sends Weejay diving for it. Fields, back row attack. Pass Radakovic. Fields is so good. 19 kills. Hitting .341. Radakovic was doing everything she could there to try to D it up. Weejay the serve to the Cougars. Boom. For Ryan, off the blockers. And Katie Ryan, a couple quick kills in succession. Her turn to move on the rotation as Julia Norville will take the serving opportunity. Norville has both parents in the crowd this afternoon, both who were student athletes at Cal Lutheran. Her dad played baseball, her mom played soccer. Trying to serve the Cougars back closer in the fourth. Williams passing to Weejay, has to elect to just tip it to the Cougars. Over to Sanovic. Nice eyes by Ung. Saw it rolling along the net, and Ung able to just send it to the floor. Cougs within a pair. USC won the first 2 sets this afternoon rather handedly before Washington State returned the favor in the third. Cougars led wire to wire in that third set, trying to come from behind in the fourth. Asanovic off the blockers again, and Amana Asanovic has kill number 17. As we said, Asanovic closing in on a season high of 20 kills. 3-point run for the Cougars has trimmed the USC lead to 1 in the fourth. Tuaninga back on over for Fields. Basham couldn't slide to get to it. Fields cross floor. Nice kill. 14-12 Trojans. Fields has hit 20. Tyra Ario owns the second highest match total hit percentage in USC history, with Magda Yahalasheva on a slide going cross floor, and again getting the Cougars within 1. Little wet spot that they're checking on after Yahalasheva landed along this near sideline to us. Yahalasheva, 5 kills now, and Monasanovic to serve. USC keying in on the receive. Asanovic into the net. Trojans are the first of 15 here in the fourth set. Ellie Snook returning to serve for Kalia Williams. USC 366 hitting percentage for the match. WSU 218. Cougars came in 13th best this weekend in the NCAA and hitting at 286. 4 of the top 13 teams in America reside in the Pac-12, and Argentina wins the joust for the Cougars, again within 1. WSU has been trying for these last few side-outs to draw even with USC. Carly Basham has the opportunity to do it for the Cougars. Competitive fourth set brewing on the Palouse. 2 top 25 teams. Basham, it hits the tape. Tuaninga, and it's blackjack. No, not blackjack for Skylar Fields. Would have been her 21st kill. USC was into the net, and we're all square at 15. Had the makings of it for Skylar Fields. 21 all, Basham into the net. Say 15 all, still thinking about that potential 21st kill for Skylar Fields. 16-15 USC. Third serving opportunity for Megan Verbees now. Verbees has played in 64 sets now this season. Norville and Basham nearly collide on the receive. Radakovic right down the seam. All square at 16. Katie Ryan returns front row. Argentina to serve. Drops it in short. Trubent there. Back for Fields, denied. Pia Timmer stares down USC's leading attacker. And the officials just giving a little warning to Pia Timmer after she makes it 17-16 Cougars. First block for Pia. Oh, and it's heating up here in Pullman. WSU takes a lead now on a three-point run. Argentina Over for Weejay. Weejay, emphatic answer for the Trojans. 17 kills for London Weejay. Doesn't play like a freshman, does she? Doesn't play like a kid who could still be in high school, does she? 17 all, great Pac-12 match here this afternoon. Timmer nearly had the receive roll up on her. Katie Ryan just had to push it with the left hand. Up in the middle, and it's point Tyra Ariel. Ariel now with 7 kills. The 2 in double figures are Weejay and Fields. Basham trying to set the Cougar serve receive. Goes over to Timmer. Long run for to keep it alive. Radakovic down under the hands of Ariel. And these teams are going point for point now in the 4th set. Slimmest margins in a must-win 4th set for Washington State. USC trying to win its 5th consecutive. Weejay, trouble with the receive, but USC keeps it up. They're scrambling to get into position. Goes far, pin for Asanovic. Diving play by Trubent. Back to Weejay, off Basham, and USC, what a play. It was nearly an ace. The Trojans, a fire drill to go get to it. And they get back into position in time for London Weejay to get the kill to take the lead 19-18. Mia Tuaninga now serving. Timmer keeps it off the floor. Ryan, an answer. Katie Ryan has 12 kills. 2 off her season high. 19-19. This has the makings of an exciting finish now this afternoon. Serve from Lana Radakovic. To Aninga. To Kalia Williams. And blocked back. Adds a little extra sting to it when it's the former Washington State transfer. Katie Ryan puts the Cougars in front. Here's Radakovic. Weejay the receive for Fields. Fields along the near side. It's a race to 5 points now here in the 4th set. For those at home, the scoring run stuck on our score bug right now, but it's been back and forth. Crew working to get that off, but it's 20-20. For Ryan, and no touch. Washington State thought so. Jen Greeny will take a timeout instead. 21-20 USC with that shot down the line just wide. And what a match we've got going on in Pullman. Cougars fighting for their lives on this weekend. USC trying to claim its 4th top 20 win this season, including its 2nd against Washington State. We come back to Pullman next. The road hasn't necessarily been the friendliest place this year for 25th ranked USC, but they have a chance to sweep the Evergreen State for the first time in 12 seasons. They're 4 points away with London Weejay serving. Washington State needing an answer from Iman Asanovic, and she delivers. Kill number 18 for Asanovic. 21-21 in the 4th. The Cougars have to win the 4th set to force a 5th. USC has already played in 9 5-set matches this year. Julia Norville on the serve. It comes over, and Asanovic on the overpass dumps it down for the Washington State lead. And it's USC's turn to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. WSU trying to force a 5th set. They are 4-1 in 5 sets against USC since the year of 2016. But the Trojans have experience on their side in 5 sets, including a 5-set victory over the Cougars earlier this season. USC is 6-3 if this goes to 5 sets. And they are just 2 5-set matches away from their program's record for the number in a season. There's still a ways to go here as Washington State has the lead 22-21 in set number 4. USC won the first 2 sets. Washington State now trying to come from behind. This has been our most tightly contested set of the afternoon. As we said, the Cougars led wire to wire when they won the 3rd. USC only let Washington State lead once in the first 2 sets, but here in set number 4, we've seen the score tied 9 times, and it's changed hands 5 times in this 4th set. What a fun match here today between USC and WSU. The final time they will ever meet in Pullman as members of the Pac-12. And Skylar Fields and Iman Asanovic. You could have guessed this coming in that they would lead the way for these 2 teams. Fields with the 21 kills. Asanovic, 1 off her season high. Julia Norville on the service line helped WSU get out to a big lead in the 5th set on Friday against UCLA. Important serving moments here to Aninga for Fields. Off Timmer, we're knotted at 22. And the kill number is 22 now for Skylar Fields. Same as it was on Friday night at Washington. 20-plus kills again for Fields. It's what's expected from her. Ariel serves for USC. Timmer a little trouble with it. Over to Asanovic. Tips the block. Weejay sprawling to it. USC to Aninga can't get there. Asanovic matches her season high here on her senior day. 20 kills for Iman Asanovic. She serves now with the Cougars ahead by 1. Late stages of set 4, trying to force a 5th set on their home courts. Asanovic serves away. In the middle, the set off target for Lindsay Miller. Here's set point coming for the Cougars. Iman Asanovic trying to serve this away in the 4th. USC will use its final timeout. Washington State still has 1 remaining. Again, we will stay right here. What guts from Washington State. The Cougars were buried in the first 2 sets by the Trojans. And there's some serious fortitude being shown on the Washington State side to get back to this moment. 24-22, set point number 1 coming up for the Cougars in this 4th set. Washington State trying to win its 20th match for the 3rd consecutive season. It would be the first time that a Cougar team has been able to accomplish that since Jen Greeny was a player, along with her assistant coach at the time, Shannon Wyckoff, now Shannon Hunt. They did it from 1995 to 1997, where the Cougars went to the NCAA tournament in all 3 years, made it as far as the Elite Eight in 1996. And oh, by the way, the Cougs had a pretty big win against USC back in 1996 in this building. But now they're the favorites, Washington State, trying to fend off this spicy USC Trojan team that after winning the first 2 sets today had claimed 14 consecutive sets. They've won 4 straight matches, getting hot at the right time of the year. Cougs trying to force a 5th against him. Imana Sanovic off the tape. Kalia Williams played it over to Skylar Fields, over a triple block to fend off a set point. It's 24-23 Cougars. They'll get a 2nd set point opportunity here in the 4th with Ellie Snook going to serve. Snook and the Trojans trying to get this set past 25 points. They need the point here. For Yahalasheva, light tip. It's kept up by the Trojans. 2nd try for the Cougars. Yahalasheva again. Snook has the dig. Can Fields extend the set? Yes, she does. Cross floor, Skylar Fields, and we're guaranteed to go past 25. 2 Cougar set points nullified by the Trojans, and Skylar Fields kill number 24, a big one to extend this 4th set. Ellie Snook still at the service line. The Cougars went past 25 twice and 15 a 3rd time on Friday night, and Pia Timmer sets up a 3rd set point for the Cougars in the 4th. Timmer had only 6 kills on 25 attacks before that pivotal point for the Cougars. Their 3rd opportunity to force a 5th set this afternoon. Carly Basham will serve. Basham also honored on this senior day. Drops it in, Snook there for it. Over to Fields. Fields tips the block. We continue in set 4, 25 all, and 25 kills for Skylar Fields. 28 for Fields is the high, and she's closing in on that number. Serves to the Cougars. Norville to receive. For Timmer, and Timmer got a touch. Actually got it in the back corner. This will be challenged. I thought so. Brad Keller pulls the card right away. I thought it had to be a touch because it looked to me in this corner like it was out. And this will be an important call. First challenge used by Brad Keller this afternoon. Keller, who was previously an associate head coach at UCLA, an outside hitter and a defensive specialist at Loyola Marymount before they terminated the program. And it was a quick review. Ball was in. So don't trust my eyes, trust Pia Timmer. Kill number 8 for Pia Timmer. She's had 2 big ones and a 4th set point for the Cougars. USC has been fending them off of late. Can Washington State force a 5th set? Argentina drops it in. It's for Fields. Basham digs it out. The Cougs have an opportunity. Asanovic off of the libero. Trubin and we are going to 5 here this afternoon in Pullman. Does lightning strike twice? We'll find out. USC, they won in 5 after falling behind 2-0 to Washington State in LA. The Cougars have a chance to do the same on their home floor. All square, the race to 15 when we come back. Well, Aman Asanovic picked a hell of a time to come up with a career high in kills. Or a season high in kills, I should say. 21 for Aman Asanovic. And we play in a 5th set. USC has not dropped a match this year when leading 2-0. That's where they were this afternoon. 2-0 and 2 dominating sets, as you see there. WSU punched heavy in the 3rd and then had to outlast USC in the 4th. The 4th set point was the charm for the Cougars. Lana Radakovic started this 3rd at the serving line, starts the 5th at the line for the Cougars. Skylar Fields, a tip block. Argentina up for Magda Yahalasheva. And the Cougars have the first point in the 5th here. USC is playing its 10th 5th set match of the season, 1 away from a program record. The Trojans are 6-3 in 5 sets this year, including a victory over top 10 Washington State earlier this year in Los Angeles. Radakovic continues to serve. Weejay on the receive. Weejay out of the back. Radakovic has the dig. Chases it down. Asanovic to Fields. This is up into the lights. Staying with it to Aninga. Off Radakovic. Big dig by the Cougar middle blocker. Now it's Asanovic. 2-0 Cougars in the 5th. Oh, Washington State's playing with a little attitude now here in the 5th. USC has only lost 1 match all season when winning the first set. 9-1 previously. The Cougars are putting the Trojans in some hot water, but up in the middle, an answer for Tyra Ariel. First point of the 5th for USC. And there's something about the 5th set between these two teams. WSU is 4-1 in 5 sets against USC since 2016. We mentioned USC's 9-6 in the last 15 meetings, but 5 of the 6 losses have been in 5 sets. And Katie Ryan asking for a touch to not get the call. Wide along the sideline, 2-2 in the 5th. So all the signs were pointing to an expectation these two teams would go 5 today. Maybe an unconventional way to get here, but here we are in the 5th set. Ariel the serve. Asanovic, does she have another? Weejay has to get it back to Fields for the kill. Wow, that's a couple over these last 2 sets that USC has snatched from their own bench to keep alive. Trojans now in front, 3-2 in the 5th. Still Tyra Ariel with the serve. In the middle for Yahalasheva. Deflected for the Trojans. Kalia Williams blocked back. Yahalasheva leads that charge against her former Cougar teammate. 3-3. Man, the way these two teams played from about 15 all in the 4th. It could just be tallies to either side the rest of the way home. Norvell aces the Trojans. Gets it deflected back into the antenna with mom and dad in attendance fired up. Norville on this senior weekend puts the Cougars ahead 4-3. Cougs have 3 aces to USC's 1. Norville, another good serve. Over to Fields. Popped high by Yahalasheva. Asanovic. Basham backs it up. Asanovic, second try, sticks it to the floor. Crowd enthused again. Jen Greeny clapping hands high above her head. Walks back to that Washington State bench. Her Cougars fighting from down 2-0 today. Norville straight away. Fields. Timmer got hands on it. Asanovic has just been taking over. Back sets. Yehalasheva on a slide. It was touched. 6-3 Cougars. Able to use the threat of Asanovic, who has a season-high 23 kills, 5 away from a career high, and then option it the other way to Yehalasheva. 4-point run for the Cougars, now leading by 3. In the middle, Miller, a little bit of a quiet afternoon since the first set. Fields, here she comes again. Yehalasheva denies it. Fields, once again. Cougars block it. And Yehalasheva. Let this gym tell you the story. 5-point run for the Cougars. And this crowd, they were a little nervous early. Their Cougs out to a 4-point lead in the 5th set. We step aside from Pullman. There was a time in this match where USC had outblocked Washington State 8-2. The Cougars owned the last 10 blocks, including and Yehalasheva before the timeout to give Washington State a 7-3 lead in the 5th. Norville continues to serve. USC finds Fields, and Fields finds Floor. Puts an end to a 5-point Cougar run. 7-4 Cougars. The next Washington State point, if it comes before USC can rattle off 4, will lead us to switch sides. Ellie Snook to serve. Basham the receive. Over to Asanovic. Asanovic tools the block. Number 24 for Iman Asanovic, and will switch sides in the 5th set. The Cougars have USC doubled up 8-4, but the Cougs are steely-eyed right now, still in this 5th set, knowing what happened a couple nights back against UCLA when the Cougars were up 6-1 in that, 6-0 in that 5th set against the Bruins. And Jen Greeny and the Cougs, they know it's not over until they can get that 15th final point or more. Against UCLA, it went 17-15 in favor of the Bruins in the 5th. This is just the 4th 5th set match for the Cougars this year. They are 1-2 right now in 5-set matches, but a lump in the throat of Brad Keller at the moment. His Trojans were magnificent in the first 2 sets, and they're trying to come from behind now in the 5th with all the momentum riding on Washington State's side. Fields goes up, Asanovic and Basham cover it. Here comes Timmer. Timmer off the blockers, and Norville and Asanovic, a miscommunication on who was going to get to it. A little frustration showing. The block for USC, and they're within 3. First block in some time for the Trojans. Eight, 5 Cougars. 9th block of the night for USC. Basham the receive. Back sets Yehalasheva. A hammer from Magda Yehalasheva. The lead back to 4. Carly Basham serving. WSU trying to move to 11-4 at home this year at Bowler Gym. USC hasn't lost in Los Angeles since 2022, but they've struggled on the road 5-8. New check-in for the Trojans. They sneak in Riley McGinnis. Yes, that's the daughter of Willie McGinnis, the former USC linebacker and all-pro NFL player. But Riley McGinnis was into the net. USC uses its final timeout. WSU a 10-5 lead in the 5th set. This feels like a postseason match, but it's just a primer. And could you imagine if this was someone's first time watching college volleyball this afternoon, how fun this match would be. It's had a little bit of everything, some domination for both sides, and now just extremely high-level play down the stretch. There was once a point today where USC was poised to hit 500. They're now at 341 for the match, which is outstanding. But in this current set, the Cougars are hitting 357 as opposed to 071 for USC. Only 3 kills, 2 airs, 14 swings. The Cougars have played tremendously on the defensive side of the floor, really ever since they fell down 2-0. Skylar Fields and Amana Sanovich putting on a show. They are both close to career highs. Fields is 1 off for USC. Asanovich is 4 off for Washington State, but it's already a season high for Amana Sanovich. WSU holds the momentum and the serve with a 10-5 lead here in the 5th set. USC does not have any more timeouts. The Cougars still have both remaining in this 5th set. Carly Basham continues to serve for the Cougars. Basham at Snook. Over and blocked off of Weejay. Right there for it again, the tremendous blocking setter. 11-5 Cougars. You can make a case for her being the best setter in the Pac-12. The Cougars are within 4 in the 5th. Basham serves again. It's off of Fields, an ace. Carly Basham losing her mind on the 4th ace of the day for the Cougars. A brilliant time for Basham to pick up the ace. Takes the deep breath, serves again into the net, and you wondered, she was so fired up after that 12-5 lead. You could see it was almost as she was running into the ball, she was still taking that breath. 12-6 Cougars. Barely anyone able to take a breath here at Bowler Gym. For Asanovich out of the back line. Picked up by Tuaninga. Block back again. Pops back up. Big dig by Snook. In the middle, kill Tyra Ariel. USC had to have it. And they get it from Ariel. 12-7 now. For a moment, it looked like was going to have a block to push it to 13-6. Gala Trubin. Still on the line for the Trojans, back by 5. Serve to Norville. Up for Radakovich. Seven kills for Radakovich. Hitting 500. Arentina to serve. Cougars are 2 points away from a tremendous comeback in Pullman. Down 2-0. Tuaninga tries to blast it over the block, did, and found a little spot along the sideline, 13-8. Wouldn't be surprised to see this match have one more bit of drama pop up in it. Mia Tuaninga at the service line. Good person to have there for the Trojans. Back by 5, having to move quickly. Basham chasing it down. This is a long play to Timmer. Taken in by Trubent. Over to Weejay. The dig by Asanovich. Timmer trying to go cross floor. Weejay the dig. For Fields out of the back. Tip. Basham the diving play. Ryan readjusting to it. Now Trubent What a back and forth. Fields through the hands of the blockers. The deficit's 4. Jen Greeny will take a timeout and try to stem the momentum from USC. What a match, folks, here in Pullman. 13-9. We come back with the final points right after this. This Washington State team with 7 fifth-year players trying to fight back from down 2-0. Mia Tuaninga the serve. USC's rattled off a few points in succession. Katie Ryan tries to answer. Radakovic gets up. It ends up being the kill for Ryan. Match point for Washington State. Down 2-0 in nearly the worst of ways. The Cougars have their best server going to the line. A chance to complete a comeback from down 2-0 and return a favor to the Trojans that they dished out in October in Los Angeles. Tuaninga sets it up. The Cougars see the tip. Basham gets there, and Washington State sends it over free. Out to the far side pin. Kalia Williams through the hands of Katie Ryan. Imana Sanovic blocked back down by Tyra Ariel. The Cougars have 3 more cracks at match point before the set could be extended. 14-10 Washington State. USC trying to punch back. Radakovic in the middle. Dug out by Truman. The Cougars set a block, but Fields uses that block for the point. USC has fought off 2 match points now here in the 5th. Trojans trying to dig deep. Washington State trying to put together one of its best comebacks in some time. Back set Ryan. It's a winner! (15-11) in the 5th. The Cougars come back from down 2-0 to take it from the Trojans this afternoon in Pullman on a day where Imana Sanovic was honored for her short time at Washington State. She delivers a double-double, 24 kills to go with 10 digs, and WSU returns the favor. USC did it in Los Angeles, down 2-0. They came back to win it in 5, and a lot of smiles on that Washington State side. By the way, that head coach, Jen Greeny, you just saw, her team wins 20 matches for a 3rd consecutive season. That's the first time the Cougars have achieved that feat since 1997, when Jen Greeny wore the jersey for Washington State. Both her and Shannon Wyckoff Hunt, they were on the last team to do it. And the Cougars, 3 seasons in a row, 20 matches won. They fight back in 5 against USC this afternoon to take it 3-2.